own? Welcome back to a live edition of Storytime. Sometimes we're live, sometimes we're pre recorded, depending on the guest. But today I have a special episode for y'all because y'all already know my guest for today. So he's already in the chat saying hi to everybody. He didn't want to even leave no room for mystery. Okay. What's going on, Big Heavy? And I see that you are now a member of the Galaxy. Welcome. You're one of my emotions now. Welcome, Big Heavy. And Big Heavy is definitely one of my faves for you people watching, whether you here now or you're going to watch on the replay. Make sure that you are subscribed to my guy, Big Heavy, okay? What's going on, Gas Man? What's up? What's going on? So let me just go ahead and bring on Alex because I don't even have to say, who is it? Because we already know, right? What's up, Alex?
Hey, what's everybody up to? What's good?
You back today like you never left.
Yeah, I know. I didn't leave.
He did not spend the night, y'all. He did not spend the night. Okay.
In the night. That's one word.
Yes, it's one word. Spend the night. Okay.
Hey, how you doing
Hey,
today?
Nene.
What's up,
One of my
Nene?
fellow ghetto babies. Shout out to Skoka. Make sure y'all subscribe to my girl Skoka as well. Hey, Ben.
Hey, everybody in the chat. What's up? What's up? I
So
see my
Alex
mess.
have came to give us a story time. He said, I'm gonna need to be over there on story time.
Yeah, I gotta come over here and tell some stories, man. And I see my man, Big Gas Man, got the Dr. King profile picture up. Pretty cool, you know. Yeah, but yeah, man, I gotta tell some stuff, Nicole, because and I want to talk about things as relates to the spiritual realm, right? Because a
He
lot,
about to get deep on us, y'all.
yeah, man. Because as I go through this life, the older I get, I speak to a lot of people who've had experiences and things that would be strange, I guess, to the average person, or they would call it strange, or they would say you imagining things, or these different kind of things. But you can't discount everybody's story, everybody's experience, because it hasn't been yours or it seemed unrealistic. Because what I want people to understand is that, first of all, this earthly plane, this is not our home. This is a stop along the way. Now, this is what I believe. Okay. This is a stop along the way. We were somewhere before we got here, and we're on our way someplace else, which I think is really home once we leave here.
Hey,
Okay.
Miss D, I see you with that red hair.
So this is a either a vacation or a nightmare, depending on how you look at this life we live now.
Oh,
You
I'm a
know,
little
so
scared now. You know what I'm going through over here.
you know what I mean. So,
These
but I
sound
want
like they're gonna be good, y'all.
yeah, but I want people to understand, regardless of what you're going through, we have guardian angels, we have people around us protecting us. Just think about some of the stuff that you've been through and say to yourself, why are you even still here? Something protected you, something guarded you, something pushed you in the right direction, things of that nature. And sometimes you even feel these things, like someone actually touched you or put their hand on your shoulder or tugged on your shirt, things like that, you know.
Right. Hey,
So
Chris.
yeah,
Shout out to my colorful combo brother.
okay. So
I'm
I'm
ready.
a, I'm gonna start with I'm not sure how many people are familiar with sleep paralysis. Okay, I
Well,
used to suffer.
damn, Ben. He must feel what you about to tell her. He said we are born to that.
There you. That's it. That's it. You know, and I'm not sure how many people are familiar with sleep paralysis, but that's a condition. So when you are sleeping, you are actually trapped between a state of consciousness and unconsciousness. You're trapped, and you can't move anything but your eyeballs. You can't move nothing, but you're aware of something going on around you, right? And it can be frightening. The old folks used to call it the devil riding you. That's where you can't move. But I think that's just, ancient folk tale and things like that. So
Coming
because it could
from you,
also
I don't know how to take that.
it could also be angelic. Okay. So it depends on how you take that. But
I don't know
I
how
had
to
a
take the pride in you part.
yeah, that's what the old folks used to say. you know.
Yeah, I'm talking about what you be saying.
Oh, you got to go right to the sex part, right?
Y'all know how Alex get down.
Oh my God, not with the devil. I don't want no parts of that. You know? I like hot poo poo, but not that hot.
You like the angels riding you. Okay, okay. Moving on.
Yeah,
Let's
I'd rather have that. So, but I had an episode of sleep paralysis. I want to talk about. This is my first story. I got 4 good, quick stories tonight. This first one, I'm laying in bed. I'm on my stomach and I'm sleeping, right? And all of a sudden, the sleep paralysis hit me. I can't move anything. My arms, legs, nothing. I can open my eyes and move my eyes around, but of course, I'm powerless. And I feel a presence coming into my room, coming by my bedside. And because you can't move, you don't know what it is, it's kind of frightening. Because if it's something bad, you can't even defend yourself, right?
So
So
wait,
they,
pause.
mhm.
You say your eyes open in your dream or like for real?
You're trapped between a state of consciousness and unconsciousness. It's a very strange phenomenon, and that's why
Okay.
it's called sleep paralysis. Okay,
Okay.
so you feel a presence, though you feel what's going on around you. You just can't react. Okay, so because your brain hasn't caught up with the rest of your body to function, because you're trapped in this void. Okay, so I feel this presence come up beside me, right by my bedside. I can't move. I'm a little frightened. Then they touch my shoulders and they lean down. So now I'm really frightened. I'm like, what is this? And they got real close to me, and the voice said, "Hi, Junior." Because my family calls me Junior,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it sounded like my mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she got up, she walked to the foot of the bed. I still couldn't move, but I felt the bed depressed, like somebody sat there, like the impression, like somebody sat there, the bed went down, right?
Oh wow, I got
And
goosebumps.
and, and all of a sudden, I snap out of it, I can move. So I turned around real quick to see if I can get a glimpse of whoever it was leaving. And I saw the indentation still on my bed, at the foot of my bed, as if they were still sitting there. But now that I'm in a state of consciousness, I can't see them, but they're still sitting there. And it was
Okay.
very unnerving.
You see Chris comment.
Isn't that a spiritual warfare? It can be. It can be. We have good, in my opinion, we have good and bad angels around us, but we're being protected. If you're a good person and you're not influenced by those evil messages, then you're going to be protected and influenced by the good guardians. So it just depends. But that experience there, when I saw the impression in the bed still there, I didn't know if it was my mom, was she staring there looking at me smiling, what was going on? But I laid there for a long time and just looked at that impression. I couldn't I
So
couldn't
all
even
she
move.
said to you was, "Hey, Junior," and then that was like, that was it. That was all.
That was it. Very softly, very soft, calming voice. Hi, Junior, like that. So, but that's a example of sleep paralysis, and I used to experience that, a lot of that. And you'll hear psychologists talk about it. Scientists, people who are familiar, sleep experts, people who deal with apnea or whatever. You'll hear that a lot.
So do
Um,
you think it was kind of like she was letting you know she was okay, or like you don't know?
I really don't know. Um, my mother in this life, she had a massive stroke at 42 years old and was debilitated. She had brain surgery, everything was totally debilitated for the last 18, 19 years of her life. Died a young woman. She was 60, 61 years old, somewhere around there. Um, so I think she wanted me to know I'm healthy, I'm okay, and I'm around. Trust me, I'm around, like that
Mhm.
kind of thing. So I think
Wow.
that's what she was trying to tell me.
Wow.
Yeah. Another story is um when my first marriage ended, I was in a severe depression because I wanted to stay married. I was no longer living in the home with my children. who I adored. I really loved being a father in the home with the children. I was no longer in the home, and I was very, very depressed. My employment was up and down. My money was up and down. It just wasn't a good place for me at that time. I was in a very, very dark place.
Mhm.
So this one particular morning, I wake up to go to work, but I was just wasn't feeling it. I got dressed and everything. I was ready to go, and I remember I asked God that day, the night before. I said, I don't know if you're real or not. I said, but if you love me at all, you will not wake me up tomorrow morning. I'm taking me out of here. I'm ready to go. That's how
What?
bad I was hurting
Oh wow.
because I did not want to be in pain anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I didn't I didn't want to do something as drastic as shooting myself or hanging myself or nothing like that because I never wanted my kids to feel like my dad took the coward's way out. He left us here. And I didn't want them stigmatized with that. My
Right.
father took himself out kind of thing. So I wasn't going to do that. But I said, if God does it, then y'all beef is with him, not me. So I asked him that. Next morning, I woke up. I'm like, damn, you can't even do that right. you know, I asked you,
Damn, Alex.
I asked you for a small favor. You can't even do it, So
And y'all, he has never told me this.
no, no, no. Very, very few people know about this, right? So, and I'm sharing it for a particular reason. I guess I'll tell you guys at the end.
Yeah.
But in any event, I'm very, very depressed. So I got dressed, but I laid back down in the bed with all my clothes on. And then I'm laying with my head at the headboard. Then I turn with my head at the foot of the bed, and I'm just going to sleep for 35 minutes, waking up, toss
You
and
was
turning, go
restless.
sleep.
Yeah.
Very restless. I just didn't want to leave the house. I was toe up that day. So I'm laying at the foot of the bed with my head hanging off the bed. I'm on my back, and my head is laying off the left side of the bed, and I'm just asleep. Now at that time, I had two roommates. And it was a 3-bedroom house. I had two roommates. My bedroom door was closed. Okay. So I'm laying there. I doze off. I go to sleep again. All of a sudden, somebody got into my left ear and said, and I felt the breath on my face just as clear as day. I felt it. And they
Oh
said,
wow.
it was a very demanding voice. Say, get up, Alex. Like, get up. You know what I mean? And I felt the breath. So I jumped up like, the fuck? I'm looking around the room. Nobody was in my room. My door was closed. So I'm like, okay. So I get up, I go to my door, open my bedroom door. I'm like, maybe they got out of here quick before I could, jump up and respond. So I call out to my roommates. I check their room. They're not home. I said,
So
well,
you
maybe they went.
couldn't like decipher the voice this time as opposed to your mom's voice.
No, no. But it seemed like it was a woman again. But it was
Mm-hmm.
just a very demanding, get up, Alex. You know. So I went down to the kitchen. Nobody in the whole house. Okay. So I went back upstairs to my room. I sat on the edge of the bed for about 15 minutes. I said, let me get up and get out of here and go to work. Right. Went out to work and had a very good day. I was in real estate at that time, had a very good day. Everything went great that day. I was very uplifted. I was inspired. And I think whatever they were trying to tell me, they was like, it doesn't end here. Just give me another 24 hours. I got you. This and that, to get me inspired, to get me up, to let me know there's something to live for because I wanted out of here, you know. So that's how depression can get you. Depression feels like there's 1,000-pound gorilla that just fell out the sky on your shoulders and you got to carry it around all day, every day. That's what depression feels like. So, and I've dealt with that, many a day. So, but that's that story. Okay. My
Okay.
third, any questions about that story?
I don't know yet. I'm thinking because you already know what's going on with me. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? But okay, come on.
Okay. This is it's my third story. And as everybody know who knows me, I grew up in Brooklyn, Crown Heights. I grew up in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Marcy, same place Jay-Z from. Jay-Z and my cousin went to second grade together. I saw a second grade picture of Jay-Z with my cousin, the class picture. Jay-Z still looked the same. He still got the same face, everything. So, but we all grew up in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, Sumner, Marcy. But at this time, I was living in an area of Brooklyn called Brownsville. And as I said, my mom's had a massive stroke. She was debilitated. We didn't put my mom in a nursing home because we figured if she's home with her sons and around love, she'll heal better. She'll respond better to getting better. You know, she'll have the inspiration. She'll have the love she needs and all that kind of stuff. In retrospect, she should have been in a nursing home. But at the time, our family kind of turned their back on us and let two teenagers and a man in his early 20s, which was my older brother, take care of my mom. So very difficult time. So my older brother was the only one working. My oldest brother, Ricky, was the only one working at the time. So we were very strapped for cash. So this one particular day, we had no money, nothing. We were ass out. So it was me, my brother Ricky, my brother Eric, my mom in the house, no food, nothing in the fridge. And we like, what we gonna do, man? We just sitting around, sitting around, sitting around. And where I grew up in Crown Heights, we were very close with the neighborhood. Everybody treated each other like family and so forth, you know, for many, many, many years. But when everybody move away, people gonna live their own separate lives. So we don't see everybody like we once did, right? Because now we're all grown or getting close to being grown. So anyway, we're in the house trying to figure out how we're going to eat. And we don't know. We have no answers. All of a sudden the phone rings. And it's an old friend of ours we hadn't heard from in years. We hadn't been in contact with, hadn't heard from in years. And we said, hey, what's up? You know, and she was like, I'm just thinking about you guys and your mom. So, you know, how are you guys doing? So we was like, you know, really, really, we're not doing too well. I hate to say it, but we're not doing too well. She said, well, what do you guys need? She said, you know, God put it on my heart to check on you guys and check on your mom. You was on my mind. So we was like, well, you know, we could really honestly use some food right about now. And she says, well, meet me at the supermarket on such and such a street. Well, we knew exactly what she was talking about. She said, meet me there. Met her there, shopping cart full of stuff she bought, right? We lugged it back home, filled the fridge up, and it was beautiful, right? And what that story also told me is, again, something got you. Something is taking care of you that is unseen because there's no other way. She would just call. I mean, we hadn't heard from her in years. Okay. So when
Right.
you're really in need, if you believe or if you have faith, and trust me, my faith has suffered over the years. My faith has taken a beating. Okay. But if you have faith and you believe and you know that something is going to come and get you out of this predicament, it can happen. Okay, somebody's looking out from you, either from the other side, and they're getting messages to soldiers on this side. Go take care of my brother. Go take care of my sister. Go do that. Go do that. Because in that realm, we can't see them over there. We can't see we can't see it as we transform out of this existence. We can't see the next existence until we're there. Okay. So that's very powerful. And I want people to understand that. You know, if you're doing the best you can and you living right, you're not out here dogging people and treating people any your kind of way. Your people that have gone beyond you, your ancestors and everybody, they're still around. They're still looking out for you. Just don't
Oh,
be doing
wow.
a whole bunch of dumb shit, treating people bad, making bad decisions, and crying about why me, because they're there to look out for you.
Well, hmm. Well, before you get ready for this last story, let me just play this commercial for everybody can know if you want to get on story time how to do it. But I think I need to look in your face for this last one. So let me play this commercial for the people and we will be right back, y'all.
Who is it? Do you have a story to tell me? Email me or inbox me. My email is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I'll answer for sure.
Bring some weed, I got a story to tell.
Yo, man, y'all niggas ain't gonna believe what the fuck happened to me. Remember that bitch I left the club with, man?
Yeah.
Yo, sticky, yo. I'm up in this bitch crib, this bitch fuck with one of them old nick ass niggas and shit.
No doubt. Yo, you got that dust, baby? Yeah, today was a good day for you, baby.
All right, and we are back.
Aha. Now I mentioned Brooklyn, you got to play Biggie. Okay, I see you, TheeEnicole.
That is the theme song for story time. What do you mean? Yes.
You know that's my man Big. You know. Now we're not. Now we on screen. What's up, chat? Any questions or responses to any of my stories thus far? I did a story on
respect for you. Respect for your stories. Because listen, story time. Anybody is welcome to come on story time, and it doesn't matter what kind of story you want to tell me. I feel like people don't empower people to tell their stories and what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very therapeutic. And a lot of people in our culture, they feel that therapy is like taboo and stuff like that. So you don't have to go straight there. You can come over to story time. We accept you. We respect you, as being said, okay? And there's no judgment over here. Like, everybody has a story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm telling these stories because many, many people probably have similar stories. If I'm saying something today that strikes something in you and go, wow, I felt like my aunt came to me, or I felt like my grandmother appeared to me. You're not crazy. You're not weird. Okay. Because a lot of times we think we're the only ones and we don't say anything. But I'm telling you that next dimension that's waiting for us, sometimes they're walking right beside us, man. I mean, sometimes you can feel them. And you think it's weird. What's this weird feeling I'm having? But this thing is more complicated. This life, this existence, the afterlife is more complicated than we can ever imagine. It really, really is.
Yeah. I don't know. That's I don't even know what to say. It's hard to get me speechless. I always got something to say, but
you always running your mouth. But
be easy, slow down on me. But yeah, that's a little deep.
But I got a fourth story. TheeEnicole had to bring me on camera for this one.
Yeah, because I need to see your eyes.
This is actually not my story per se. It's my brother Ricky's story, and we had my brother Ricky on a few weeks ago. Remember?
Mr. Ricky.
Mr. Ricky, yeah. Me and my brother Ricky were very, very close, and we kind of tell each other everything. So my brother Ricky, he has a lot of strange experiences like this as well. So one day he went back to visit some friends of ours in Bedford-Stuyvesant, some of the projects, and he's walking down the path, between the buildings, to get to the building that he wants to get to visit, our friends. And he ran into an old friend. Her name was Beverly. She was a sister of some friends of ours that lived in our building and where we used to live at. And he's like, "Hey, Bev, what's going on?" And this and that. And he hadn't seen her in a while. So he wanted to hug her, but he hadn't seen her in so long. He wasn't sure how she would take that. So he just sat there and talked to her. She's like, "Hey, Rick, this and that." They're having a conversation and everything. And then he's like, "Well, I'm going over here. I'm going to visit, Mama Helen and everybody. I'm going to, catch up with you later on." She's like, okay. All right, so I see you. So he turned to walk away. She turned to walk away. And you know how when you turn to walk away from somebody, you tend to kind of look back, to see where they're going, whatever. He looked back. She was gone immediately. He like, the fuck she go so fast? There was really nowhere for her to go, but he figured, okay, maybe she made a left, a sharp right, whatever. But there's really no place for her to go. But he's like, okay, whatever. So he went up to visit one of our neighborhood mothers. We called her Mama Helen, and her sons and daughters. And he's like, hey, Ricky's like, hey, how's everybody doing? Blah, blah, blah. So he talking for a while. And then he says, oh, by the way, guess who I just saw? And they was like, who? He said, I just saw Beverly. He was like, Beverly who? He's like,
dead.
Frank and James' sister Beverly. He's like, you saw that Beverly? He was like, yeah.
She was.
And he was like, Ricky, Beverly's dead.
Oh my God, I knew you was about to say that.
And
hey, Auntie P.
He was like, what? He said, yeah, apparently Beverly's husband had killed her some time ago. Now, again, we no longer lived in the neighborhood, so we didn't know this. Okay. So when he saw her, he just thought he was seeing Bev.
Wow.
So when they told him that, he was like, I just saw Bev downstairs. He said, I don't know what, but it wasn't Beverly. He said it was Beverly, but he kept going back to the point that why he didn't hug, why he had to hug her but didn't.
Hey,
that's the thing that kept bugging at him and eating at him.
Right. But it was his choice not to hug her, right?
Right. He wanted to hug her, but because he hadn't seen it in so long, he wasn't sure how she would receive it. So he didn't hug her, But the fact that when they told him that, it really stifled him, And so those kind of things is what I'm trying to tell people. Is like, you can't tell these things sometimes to the ordinary person, but these things have to become the norm, because we need to understand this universe, this existence, is not just about being human. It's about being spiritual. It's about the next trip we go on, where we were before we even came here. Because if we're spirits inhabiting human bodies, we were somewhere before we came here. Okay? And this is what you get what's called, you ever get something called precognitive dreams? Most people call them deja vu, right? And most of us have gotten a deja vu. But the real term for that is precognition, a precognitive dream. Mm-hmm. And what that means is you're having a dream about something that has not happened yet. It's a future event that hasn't happened yet. And usually when you wake up from a dream like that, you don't realize it was precognitive. When it hits you is when you step into the moment and you go, wait a minute, I've done this before. I've been here before. I mean, it gets to the point where you walking down the street, you go, wait a minute, this stuff seems familiar. Somebody's going to come around that corner right now. And they do. But in the dream, their face was blurry. You knew it was a man or a woman, but the face was blurry, things like that. That's precognition. And it's hard to explain that or prove that, because you have to have proof that you have knowledge of a future event that hasn't happened yet. And who's going to believe TheeEnicole said, I had a dream about such, and it's going to happen?
They don't believe me.
No.
I don't know if they're going to believe you. No, but I want to say something else.
Okay.
It's funny though, because every story that you told, it's kind of like, sorry, I gotta put Cornmex.
Yeah.
Cornmex.
Exactly.
It goes along with what we talk about, like on numerous old school versus new schools that we do, which is, we're tired of seeing our people that look like us treat each other badly. There's no respect when it comes from the women to the men, from the women to other women, men to other men. Like, everybody's for themselves. But then y'all complain when y'all life don't go right, when things aren't happening how y'all want it to happen. When if we started with treating ourselves better, that will turn into treating each other better, which brings you back good karma. Like, life is already gonna be a bitch. So if you're putting out negative, you're gonna get negative, period. So why don't we, like, everybody says that karma a bitch. What goes around comes around. So why don't we put more positive out? Like what are we doing? But
Yeah.
your stories are kind of like, I don't know, they was like little parables or something. Like
Twilight Zone-ish,
yeah, yeah.
But it's just reality. It's my reality, and there's so many more stories like that. I selected those four for the purpose of this story time, but there's so many other stories I have like that. And I want people to get comfortable with this. And what I want them to understand is wherever your life is going right now, trust the process. I've been in some dark, dark places. Okay. Trust the process because you don't know why you're going through it.
Yeah.
Think of some of the worst times in your life you've been through, and now you're on the other side, and it didn't seem that bad. It was bad, but now that you're on the other side, you're asking yourself, I learned so much from that experience.
Yeah.
I
And
thank
then
God
while
for that
you're in that
experience.
experience, if you're putting out that positive energy and you're treating people right, there would be more instances where you're in a position like your third story where you talk about your second story where you talk about how you and your brothers was taking care of your mom, y'all was down on your luck, and you got a random call of let me fill your refrigerator up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you put that energy out, you can kind of work more with your faith. Like you were saying, like your faith have been tested a lot. But if you stay true to that, you always gonna be taken care of.
Right. And I tell you, Nicole, over the years, my faith, of course, have taken a beating for various things. I mean, there's been a lot of death. I've experienced losing a lot of people,
Yeah,
and you question why you even still here, you know.
yeah.
But once you try to get an understanding of the fact that they're not really gone, they're just in a different form, a different existence, but they're still
Mhm,
present, around you in your life, whatever.
mhm.
They're no longer stuck in a sick body, or they're no longer confined to the rules and laws of this world, of this realm. They're free,
Yeah,
so to speak. So it kind of makes you feel better about losing them. And although you're not ready to go, we none of us know when we're leaving. You look forward to being reunited with them.
yeah. And to go back to what both of you and Ben said in the chat, we were born to die. So why
That's right.
spend your life being miserable
Yeah.
or envious of people or watching somebody else's pockets, or you know what I'm saying? Why spend
Yeah.
your life? Well, as far as we know, we got one life to live. So why waste it being unhappy? You know what I'm saying? Why waste
Yeah.
it fighting? Like, of course, it's gonna be discrepancies, disagreements, and stuff like that. But I know some people who, and I've also been one because y'all know I live in my truth. Good, bad, and ugly. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but it's about accountability, right? I've had points in my life where I was angry every day till I had to be like, why am I mad? What am I
hmm
mad for? It takes a lot of
Yeah.
energy to be mad.
It do. And as they say, a smile is a frown turned upside down. you know. So
No, but it take what they say, the scientists they say it take more muscles in your face to frown than to smile.
yeah, that's right. That's
So
right. That's why I learned, like you said, it takes a lot. Like there are people that I dislike, but it
mhm.
take a lot for me to really, really say I hate somebody, because that's a lot of energy. I
Yeah, I don't
remember
hate.
when I used to, just there were people that, if they were on fire, I wouldn't even piss on them.
Oh
You,
Lord, here you go, y'all.
you know what I mean? And you just feel this hatred, but what you start to find out is it's exhausting, because every
Yeah.
time you talk about them, or if you see them or somebody mention them to you, you sitting there going, I can't stand them. They make me sick. I can't
And
stand it.
then meanwhile, they living their best life.
And
They
you
not worried about
exhausted.
you. They
Right.
have power over you.
hmm
Yeah.
Because right then and there, they change your mood, they ruin your day, and they weren't even there.
Or
Or
thinking
somebody,
about you.
or thinking about you, or somebody was mentioning their name, and now your whole day is, oh, I can't stand them. They did this to me. Ah. You know,
your teeth getting fucked up.
you know what I mean? So,
Yes.
so we got to handle these things differently. You're not weird. You have these kind of experiences that I've outlined. You know, you're not weird. You know, welcome those kind of things as long as they're not trying to harm you. You know, my grandmother would always say, my mother would always say, you know, it's the living you have to worry about, not the dead. You know, so if you feel the comfort around you, if you're dreaming about a loved one, they trying to tell you something in a dream or something, just welcome it. You know, welcome it. If they passed away and you guys were angry at the time, maybe they're coming back to apologize. Maybe you should apologize while you're dreaming about them. You know, and I know these things seem strange to even talk about, but they need to be talked about because I'm positive. I promise you. I'm not the only one who've had these kinds of experiences. I promise you.
And again, like, don't feel bad. Every story time is welcome to everybody. I don't care what kind of story it is you want to tell, because sometimes you telling your story to one person could help that person. Like, I don't care what the story is about. You know what I'm saying? Happy stories, sad stories, heartfelt stories, tragic stories. Feel free to come over here and tell your story. It's a judgment-free zone. And like I said, like, it's therapeutic to get that out. And like Alex said, you know, what Alex said today, somebody might come back and listen to it and now feel that they're not alone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's where a lot of the disconnection these days happens from, is because so many people are walking around feeling like they're alone, when in reality, there's nothing new under the sun. Somebody been through what you're going through, no matter what it is. Somebody been through it. You're not going to be the first. You're not the last. Like,
particularly with depression, TheeEnicole, because depression is so heavy, right? It's so dark. It's so debilitating. It's nothing physical, but it's just such a presence that's on you, and it debilitates you. You know, you can't move, you can't think, you can't do anything, right? And I don't want anybody out there that's depressed to feel like they're by themselves, because the worst thing you can do is isolate yourself. Okay, you feel depressed, go visit some people, go visit some loved ones. You know, go to a gathering of some sort. You know, but trust me, you're not alone.
And it's crazy that you saying that, because some kids said some people are so uncomfortable with introspection, they rather suffer and then eventually adapt the mentality that this is life. And that's basically what you just said. Like, you get comfortable in your isolation. I have definitely been comfortable in my isolation, you know, but then that stunts your growth. You know what I'm saying? It goes into your story when you just said the next day you got out of bed, you went to work, and it basically was telling you, like, you can live to fight another day, for lack of better words, with Mr. Superhero up here. You live to fight another day. Like,
yeah, just give me another 24 hours.
Yeah.
Don't allow yourself to check out here, because I need you. And here's something powerful, TheeEnicole, I found out as I've lived this life well into my 50s at this point. When you're going through something real dark and difficult and hard, that's not for you. See, the reason you're going through it, because the Father knows you're strong enough to survive this. But what he's going to do later on, after you get out of this, he's going to put somebody in your life who's not strong enough, who's not as strong as you were to have gotten through it. And you're going to have to get them through it. You're going to have to let them know it's survivable. I've been through this. I've lived through it. Because if they didn't have you at that moment, they would check themselves out of here. But because you were strong enough to get through it, you now have to guide others to let them know it's going to get better.
And it's so hard in that moment, because, like, what you just said, I used to hate when people told me that. Like, you know, you be going through something and they be like, somebody got it harder than you. Like, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about me. Or, you know, the old church people be like, God won't put more on you than you can bear.
Yeah.
How strong do you think I am? Like, I've had enough. But, you know, you're right, though, because no matter what point I am in life, it's always somebody that come along that I can share a story with, something that I've been through, and I got to go to the other side. And here's the thing about story time, y'all. It's a lot of people out here that go through things, get to the other side, and then they're like, oh, I've been past this and I'm better than you now. Like, no, that's not how it works.
That's not how that works.
You're right. Like we go through things so we can help other people, not so you can look down your nose at somebody.
Because we are all here to be of service to one another. Everything that we acquire here and gather here and accomplish here, we don't take nothing with us when we leave here. Nothing goes with us.
Yeah.
Okay. That stuff is to leave to make life better for those you leave behind. Because as the saying go, you never seen a U-Haul truck behind a hearse. You know what I mean? You're not taking nothing. You born
and
naked.
You helping somebody takes nothing from you. Like, especially if if you already been through the situation,
right?
What is helping somebody else through it? What is it doing? What is it taking from you? Nothing.
No, nothing. It actually should be inspiring to you that you can be of service. You know, Muhammad Ali had a very famous thing. He used to say, "Service is the rent we pay for the right to live on this planet." You know, if you have service to no one, you are a disservice to everyone. That's my saying. Okay. So that's just what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to just sit up here and have 8 and 9 cars and 20 houses and all. That's not what this is about.
Well, I mean, you can, but don't feel like you're better than the person with 4.
Right. Because the fact of the matter is, the same way you're gonna get old or whatever, if you get to be old, but the same way you gotta leave here, they gotta leave here. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you make $20,000 a year. You leaving too.
And if you live in a skip life, as fast as you got it, you will lose it.
Yeah.
So it be the motives for me. It be the motives, the intention. Like y'all know I'm speaking to us, but we have to do better. We have to do better. We have to do better.
Yeah.
And it starts with taking better care of yourself.
Yeah.
And then you can take care of other people better. Like, I really feel like I'm just gonna say that every day because it don't seem like y'all listening. So I'm just gonna keep saying it.
No, repetitiveness is a wonderful thing. Sometimes you got to repeat stuff 100 times, 1,000 times before people, get it.
Yeah.
So our job is to share our life as a classroom and let people know, hey, you got similar stories? You got similar stories? Oh my God, tell me. I want to know, and we share these stories without shame, without judgment. Okay. So we can get past it and get to the next level in life. The key is not to get stuck. Don't get stuck at one place at one moment in time because you're depressed or you don't feel like nobody's going to believe you or you feel like a victim or whatever it is. Don't get stuck. Keep moving. That's the key.
Yeah. So I thank you for coming through and telling your story. I didn't know where we was going with them, but
okay.
I enjoyed it.
You didn't know prior what I was going to say because you like authenticity, which I respect. Yeah. So
I do. I ain't with the scripts unless you want to pay me to be in a movie.
Right. Yeah.
But y'all, for the people who are new to Storytime, again, anybody's welcome to come to Storytime. Storytime can help somebody else. Just be a little more free with yourselves, I feel like a lot of people are living in this fairy tale land and the internet made y'all comfortable to do so. But it's time for us to start coming back to reality. And I ain't talking Zeus and now that's TV, BET, VH1. I'm talking about reality, real life. It's time for us to come on back. Okay? And speaking of coming on back to reality, before we get out of here, me and SD have a great show coming for y'all. Here is the commercial for it. And I will see y'all next Tuesday, same time, same place, for Storytime. Alex, thanks again for coming through. Y'all already know who he is. Y'all see that behind him. Make sure that y'all are subscribed to Magnetic Repellent.
Magnetic Repellent. Thank you, TheeEnicole. Peace out, everybody.
For sure. See y'all next time.
AOSD. These motherfuckers know what time it is.
Shorty, keep them good. Yeah, that's facts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's facts.
TheeEnicole. You can always call me E, but don't never call me Nicole. Your presence is appreciated. Please be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe. It's always a vibe. In my
Hey, it's Shonda Frey from Ready to Love, and you are watching my girl, TheeEnicole.
Tasha Lyons telling you to tune into TheeEnicole.
This is Samson from Ready to Love, and you're tuned into TheeEnicole.
It's Winter from Love Marriage DC, and you're tuned in to TheeEnicole.
Make sure you guys